Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 286 of A Year of Change. Today we're going to be talking about not exactly a current TV show. This is actually a show that I heard about earlier on this week. I've been dying to talk about it, but I figured I would wait until Friday because this is generally when we do our documentaries and TV shows and things like that. It's a new show that A&E is going to be coming out with in the next 2 or 3 weeks, depending on when you're watching this. This is New Year's Day for me, so depending on when you're watching this, it might already be out. So it'll be interesting to see how my opinion changes. But it's going to be called Fit to Fat to Fit. And the basic premise, and I first heard this when I was driving to work one day, was that they were going to take trainers, like physical trainers and, what's the other word? Anyway, physical trainers. Personal trainers, that's what I'm trying to think of. And have them gain weight and work with a new client to both lose the weight at the same time. Now, when I first heard this, immediately got angry. And this is why I don't talk about these things immediately afterwards, because I need to do research first so that it's not just a knee-jerk reaction. Because the first thing I think of is you're talking about people that have, their lives almost every single day are exercise and fitness and everything else. So, yes, when they start to gain weight, it is going to be a little easier for them to take it off because they're trying to break a pattern that they've become accustomed to over the past few years. It's not the same as, someone who has, been fat for 20 or 30 or 40 years. So that bothered me to begin with. And then, of course, my mind just starts going and I'm thinking, great, so you're going to put on like 30, 40 pounds at most and then work it off, but you've already, underneath all that, you're already in really good shape. So it's going to be a very short-term thing. It's going to be gimmicky, and you aren't dealing with the same stuff that these people have been dealing with. And then I took a look and just delved a little bit deeper into it. And I have to say I'm very glad I didn't talk about this before, because it's the lowest weight that I've seen so far that these trainers are putting on is 60 pounds. There's someone that put on 75 pounds. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's not true. There is one woman, she put on 30 pounds. She's about 5'5", though. So proportionally, it's still quite a bit. Anyway, there is a trailer up for it that you can go see. Actually, I'll probably put that in the playlist just for the trailer. And then, depending on when you're watching this, there might be the first episode in there, too. Once that comes out, I'm going to put that in the recommended viewing just so that people have it. But I wanted to sort of talk about this before it comes out, just to see, this is my initial response to it. They have some pictures up right now on the A&E website showing the sort of before and after of the trainers. And there are a few that are, you're like, okay, well, 20, 30 pounds, you can take that off. It sounds a little, 20 or 30 pounds when you're first starting out sounds pretty daunting, but we've lost quite a bit. And although it's sort of a long-term thing, I can't imagine it's going to be as difficult for people that are used to just exercising all day and, they have their set schedule. They know what they need to eat. They know what they need to do for exercise, all that stuff. So part of me is still thinking it's going to be a little bit easier. But during the trailer, they do show someone who said, he's going to be gaining. There's one that's gaining 60 pounds. There's another that's gaining 75 pounds. So that they match the weight of the person that they're going to be helping to lose weight with. And these are people that, just like us, that when they first start out, they're saying they aren't going to understand. This isn't the same thing as, they haven't been dealing with the emotional issues that sort of go hand in hand with this. So they do show a few snippets of the people actually trying to gain weight. And they're just calorie dumping as much as they can into themselves. And you can see the lethargy start. You can see the depression start. You can see the changes in mood. On the website, when you're going through and just sort of reading some stuff there, you can see when they're saying, people look at them differently. They treat them differently. And these are people that are not so much. I don't think that these are the same sort of people. Like, no, you're too fucking fat. Just lose the weight. The fact that they're willing to gain this much weight to match the weight of the person that they're going to help and then lose the weight with them really just is just amazing. And I know it is still sort of gimmicky, but just think, yes, I understand that these people have been fit for the majority of their lives. Most of them. There is a story I do want to tell you in a bit. But it's still when they, I mean, I don't know if they actually understand the, I don't know if they really fully can grasp the depths of, no, that's not the word I'm looking for. And they, anyway, I'm trying to use the word fathom. I don't know if they can actually fathom the emotional impact that this has on people when we are this fat. It's not just simply a matter of saying, oh, I need to do something and need to lose the weight. There is a huge emotional impact and a psychological impact that comes along with that. And you can see them start to experience it. And even before they finish gaining the weight, there's one of them that says, I'm understanding, I'm empathizing more with this person than I ever have before, because they get it. They can see how people treat them differently. They can see how they talk to them differently, how they sort of back up from them when they're talking to them, that there isn't that same connection anymore from the same person. And I think that, more than anything, is going to be really, really helpful. But there is one person that really stands out for me. He's gaining, I think this is the one that's gaining 75 pounds. His name's Adonis something or other. And yes, that's his name. I can't remember his last name. He's up on the website, though. And they show the before picture of what he looks like now, and or what he looks like when he's in training and everything, and he's a personal trainer. And then they show him after he's gained the 75 pounds back, or gained the weight to prepare for the show. And the thing that really stands out about him, more than anything else, is that the reason why he became a personal trainer was because he was obese already. He had been obese for a long time. And he decided to lose the weight and wanted to help other people and became a personal trainer. And he said that the dangers of going back to that, not physically, just getting back into those old bad habits were really scary for him. And I can understand that. If you had to do something now that they said, okay, we're going to get you to do this show, you need to get back to the original weight that you were 9 months ago, I sure as hell wouldn't do it. And I highly doubt that you would too. So having someone who's already dealt with that throughout their life, being obese, and then fighting so hard, and we know how hard that fight is to get down to where they want to be, and then be able to go out and share that with other people. And that's why he became a personal trainer, to be able to take someone like that and say, you know what, I'm going to go back to how I used to be to help someone else, is just astounding to me that someone would be willing to do that. It's just, I can't even express it, how much it would mean for someone to do that. So I think the show itself is going to be really, really interesting. I'm really hoping that it's going to sort of continue with that and not turn into a sideshow. I know that a lot of reality TV, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of them at all. A lot of reality TV is sort of like a modern day sideshow. And I've said that before, that it's just basically come and so that you don't have to go to the circus to point at the freaks. And for those of you that are offended by the term freaks, grow up. But something like this, I'm really hoping that it sort of stays on track and doesn't turn into just another, well, we're just going to make things, wacky and crazy and have conflicts and everything else. I really hope that they show the psychological damage that can be done. Just especially, I mean, in the trailer, it looks like they're going to, where he's saying, he sees how this one person specifically, I'm not sure which one it is, because it's just a voiceover. You just hear them say that they can see that difference when they're talking to a woman, that they sort of back up and they shrink away. There isn't that same, not like a sexual connection, but there isn't that same just personal connection anymore. And it's just the different ways that they're being treated, just because they're fat, because their personality hasn't changed. I mean, they're obviously much more tired. You see that a lot. You see him, being sick, not like physically barfing, but he's really trying hard not to. So, I mean, I think that I certainly would not recommend that every personal trainer do this. But if the show is what I think it's going to be, it's going to be something that I really think will be helpful. So that, not so much for personal trainers and people that are trying to lose weight, we know what we go through. But being able to see that support, I think, is going to be really, really helpful for us. And on top of that, all the people that are out there that think it's just so easy, that don't understand, and we know who they are, that just think, well, just stop eating donuts and cookies and candies and everything else and you'll be fine, and go to the gym. What's the matter with you? That they'll be able to see the impact, because this is one thing that we have looked at as well, is just like the changes in mood when you have too much sugar or too much salt, or you're overeating, and just how your body just changes so much from being fat. And when you're seeing, the differences between the two, like the before and after pictures, it is dramatic. It is really like, it's not simply a matter of going, you know what? No, they have some belly fat. They'll be fine. When you're gaining 60 to 70 pounds of fat, like that's taken us 9 months. It's taken me 9 months to get that much off. I mean, granted, I'm not really like working out every day and, trying to burn it off as quickly as I can. But that's a tremendous amount of weight. And for them to gain that just so that they can lose it again to help someone out, I think is commendable. It really is. But it'll be interesting to see how the show turns out. I'm generally worried about stuff like this because I think there's always, like, when they come out with something like this, no matter what their intentions are, I'm sure that they're very good intentions. Inevitably, if viewership sort of drops off, then people decide, well, you know what, let's add some explosions and boobs in there. That'll be fine. That'll bring everybody back. And then it just turns to shit. And I'm really hoping it doesn't do that. I'm kind of crossing my fingers in the hopes that A&E is going to be a little bit better than that. But I think they have some other reality shows out there as well. But anyway, yes, I just wanted to sort of bring that up because, and I may revisit it later on. I don't think I probably will, actually, because we've only got 12 weeks left. I don't want to come back and repeat myself in the last 12 weeks. But I'll be curious to see how the show turns out and to see if my opinion right now is right. That might be for a weekend update thing when I'll say, the show is great or the show is shit, depending on how it turns out. But it's supposed to start in mate to rare. That's not even a word. Mid to late January of this year. So, got another few weeks before it actually starts, but I wanted to sort of get in there before it does, just to give my initial impression. And I'll put the trailer up there as well. And hopefully, if I can, if someone posts it illegally, then I will put it up in the recommended viewing as well. If not, then I'm probably going to try to go find it somewhere so I can go in and take a look and see what it's like. It would be interesting to see anyway. And I just think, again, sort of the people that are putting themselves out there, the trainers that are doing this, I think is just amazing to me. That they're willing to do that for someone. I don't think they understand just how much it would mean. And I don't think that they fully fathom the struggle that they're going to be going through when they first set out. I think they honestly do think that they're going to say, well, I'll gain the weight and then I'll lose it just to help them. I don't think they understand how hard it's going to be. But, I mean, wish everybody the best of luck. And especially the guy named Adonis that has already been there. That one stands out more than anything. So that's the one that I'm really curious to see how he handles that. It's a big fear, I think, for all of us that we're ever going to get back to where we were 9 months ago. To see how he handles it is going to be interesting. But anyway, right now I am going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. And in the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video.